Welcome back to First Time for Everything. I'm Mello. Now, the last video I made, which was my first progress report, I was actually pretty proud with that. Not from a professional YouTube production standpoint, but the fact that I knew absolutely nothing just a few months earlier, I'm pretty proud of what I created. However, there are two major complaints I have. One of them is I wish I knew how to edit better or faster. I wish I knew other skills when it comes to editing. However, I'm learning so much so fast about editing that I think I'm just gonna leave that to the side. I'm happy enough with my progression for right now. The second complaint would be the audio. Even though I have acoustic treatment inside my room, once I slid my chair back a little bit more, I could tell that there was an echo, and almost every time that I'm recording video from my camera facing me on the stand, I have to raise the volume in editing. So if I can save steps, that's kind of what I want to do. Now, currently, I own 3 other microphones, and I'm not using them because I wasn't ready to review them, so I figured this is the perfect time for me to review these microphones and make a conscious choice on which microphone I think is best for me at the current time. Now, I'm obviously going to test out the microphone on my cell phone, which is a Note 8. It's pretty old. This has been the microphone that I've used to produce every video I've done so far. After that, I want to try out my $30 gaming headset that I already owned. Next, I want to test out my $20 Neewer microphone on a $37 microphone stand. I'm not considering that a $57 investment because the microphone stand can be used for more than microphones, but any microphones that you get, you can use the same stand. You don't need to have a stand for every microphone. At the end, I'm going to review what I think is going to be my favorite, but it is a $20 lapel mic made by Boya. Now, when I test these 4 different kinds of microphones, I wanted to have all of them in one video, just unplugging and replugging a new microphone. But for whatever reason, every time I change the microphone in a continuous video, the video is about a 1/4 second delayed from the audio for the rest of the time in that video. And if I change another mic, it adds like another 1/4 second of delay. By the time I'm done reviewing all 4 mics, the video is about a second later than the actual audio. I don't know why this happens, and I don't know how to fix it. The only thing I know how to do is to not record one continuous video, so I'm going to have to record a video for each of the microphones and then just edit them together. The other thing is I will not be toying with the audio settings at all. Now, in some rare cases, I am changing volumes of audio on different clips just to match the same volume level. I'm not going to be doing any of that because I want you to hear the difference of the microphones before you do any settings or anything like that. In this video, if you think some of the audio sounds bad, I'm literally trying to point that out, so forgive me in this one circumstance. Now, when it comes to the microphone on my cell phone, I have never played with audio settings, so this is just the way that my cell phone is without tweaking anything on the audio side. My cell phone is a Note 8, so it's pretty old, but if it's all you have, then that should be okay for now. It has served me pretty well so far. Every video I've produced has been using my camera and using my camera's microphone. So it works enough, but if I have other microphones to explore, I want to see if there's going to be a better microphone, and one of them almost certainly will be. Now, when I get this close to my phone, the audio is pretty good, but as soon as I back up, that's where I start seeing a problem. And if I move closer to the camera, well, of course the microphone's better, but I want to stay within the shot that I've chosen for myself. Now, when I am holding the phone taking a video selfie or I'm recording out, the phone is close enough where the audio is just fine and I don't have to edit anything. But I rarely take videos with my hands. I'm usually having it on the stand talking to it just like this. Now also, if I move out of frame or I face another direction, you can hear a pretty substantial drop off when it comes to audio quality. And although this is almost certainly going to exist with all of the mics, this one seemed a lot more drastic than I would want it to. So I want to see how it plays out with the other microphones. The next microphone I want to go over is my $30 gaming headset. Now, if you don't already have or already need a gaming headset, I wouldn't suggest you go purchase one, but you can use it for this situation, and it might be better than your phone. So let's go ahead and test it out, see what this thing does.
This is my $30 gaming headset. Now, like I said, if you don't already have one or already have a need for one, don't go out and purchase this just for this function. However, this is something I can use in this situation. Now, a couple of pros about the gaming headset is it follows me. So it does not matter what direction I turn, I still have the audio following me. It is clear enough to understand me, and I don't believe I'm going to have to raise the volume in editing. So there are benefits there. I'm not a fan of the actual headset. I'd much rather a lapel, but at least you can hear me clearly. Now, when I say clearly, when it comes to playing video games online, all you need to do is be able to communicate with your teammates, and as long as they can hear you well enough, that's all you really need. But the actual quality, I don't want to go as far as to say scratchy, but this sounds like you have somebody on your cell phone on speaker, and I'm really not cool with that quality. Now, I am happy with the fact that there's a mic attached to me following me. However, since this is a gaming headset, I don't know if you can see this, but this is all the length that I have because it's intended to be plugged into a controller you're holding, so you don't need this distance. As small of a cord as this is, I could not move another foot back or it would pull my camera down. So I'm looking for more length than this. I'm looking for a better audio sound than this, but I want to keep the concept of having the headset on me, the mic on me. Now, most microphones that are made on gaming headsets have the ability to flip this up and mute it, so you wouldn't really be able to hear. However, it doesn't really make sense to have that function if I'm making videos. It really only matters if you're playing live video games or if you're streaming or something like that. So it's there even though I can't really use it. Now, this might be better for you than your cell phone mic, but for me, I'm just looking for a crisper sound, something that I think that the Neewer mic I reviewed could actually do if I could get used to the fact of focusing on where the mic is so I can maintain a certain distance from it. See here, I'm kind of moving all over the place. So I'm backing up a little bit. I'm moving to the left. I'm not concerned about where the mic is because the mic is always in the same place.
Next, I want to review my $20 Neewer microphone. Now, the reason I decided to purchase this microphone is I watch a guy named PewDiePie. He made a video called Congratulations, where he was sarcastically congratulating a channel called T-Series on passing PewDiePie in subscribers. Now, I found out the other two guys in PewDiePie's videos were also YouTubers, and one of them's name was Rumi, and he basically produced the whole video when it comes to music, editing, singing, that kind of thing. I started watching his channel. One of the videos that Rumi made was a video comparing a $20 Neewer microphone to a $12,500 microphone. Although Rumi was a singer and that's how he was demonstrating the differences between the microphones, I figured for $20, I can go ahead and try this microphone and see what it's all about. I will say, and this might be prejudging, but before using any of these microphones, I'm pretty sure that style microphone, the $20 Neewer mic, I'm pretty sure that style is not the kind that I want. It's the kind that Joe Rogan uses, a big physical microphone. Donut Operator uses it as well. I just don't like the idea of having a microphone covering up part of the shot and having to stay close to it, but I figured for $20, I can see if it's any good. If it's not, I can tuck it in a drawer and there's not much lost there. That being said, I'm gonna try to keep an open mind. Let's figure out what this thing does. Now this is my $20 Neewer microphone. This is the one Rumi suggested in his video between the $20 Neewer microphone and the $12,500 microphone. Now, something I didn't consider is he was singing into these mics, so he was a lot closer. And as soon as you get pretty close to this mic, this clarity, I believe, is where it's at. I would definitely accept this kind of clarity. I just don't want to be 6 inches away from the mic at all times. That means I can't really turn away too much because if I do, the drop off is pretty substantial. Now, I am a lot more animated than Joe Rogan or Donut Operator, so I don't want to have to be so specific on where I'm pointing my face or anything like that. Plus, at a distance,
Even if I spin around, you can hear that it's quite a substantial drop off. It seems to me that the value of this mic is if you're totally cool with talking like this. And a lot of people choose to do it. Maybe this is just a personal thing that I don't really want to do. Maybe I'm going to have to force myself to be this close. You know, every time Joe Rogan has somebody on his podcast and they get too far away from the mic, Joe's always telling them, go ahead and get closer to the mic. Matter of fact, Joe's got his arms on the counter, like right there at the mic. So if that's something that you can handle, that's something you can get used to, more power to you. I'm just going to real quick just try not to have a physical mic that I have to like focus on where I'm at. Now, I did notice that it seems like when you talk on the sides of these mics, or at least this one, that the sound quality is a lot stronger when you're talking on the side of it. So I don't really know the benefit of that. I would assume that I'm supposed to talk directly into it, so I'm having it point at me like this. Now, I could get it out of the shot, but the further away it goes, the more I'm going to have that clarity issue anyway. So now this is where I would naturally choose to speak. So if I got to have the mic closer, I might have to move it closer, but I'm about 2 feet away right now, maybe a foot and a half. I'm about a foot away right now, and right now I'm about 6 inches away. And like I said before, on the tests I did before, I think I like this clarity. If we're only talking clarity, I think I like this clarity the best. But I really have to be this close if I'm going to get the desired result I'm looking for. With the $20 Neewer mic, I'm really happy with the quality of the sound, but I'm just not happy with the proximity that I have to be within to get that kind of sound. As soon as I sit back or move back, I realize I could move this thing to me, but now I'm only another 12 inches away, and it is considerably different. Now, as much as I don't want to focus and try to learn how to be this close to the mic, I guess I could get used to it if I really care about this quality over all the microphones, but I really don't want to be that YouTuber. I'm uncomfortable with having something this close to my face, not to mention you're always going to see the microphone in the shot one way or another. I could lower the microphone, but then it's going to be too far away where I'm not going to get that clarity. If this kind of clarity difference is just from a foot or so away, further than where it was, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty drastic if I drop the mic out of the shot or if I go from upwards. But it looks like I need to be talking to it dead on. I can't be turned around because this does not pick up much audio at all until I am facing the mic, and then I get closer. If I can avoid getting used to a microphone like this, I really want to do that. Now, I will say, I know for each of the mics that I'm going to review, there is a supreme version of it that you can pay a lot of money and it does exactly what you want. Also, I'm using an editing app on my phone, not my computer. I'm very limited on my audio choices, so I'm going to work with what I have, because if just choosing one of these mics makes an easier audio experience for me, or easier on editing, easier to hear me, then that's definitely what I want to do. But this is the kind of sound quality you're going to get at about 2 feet away. This is the sound quality you're going to get at about 1 foot away. And if I get within about 6 inches, this is the way it's going to sound.
The last microphone is my $20 lapel mic made by Boya. Now, before I tried any of these mics, this was the microphone that I was pretty sure I was going to prefer. Now, no one told me a lapel microphone is important. There's just a lot of YouTubers that I watch that I've seen with a lapel mic. You'll see it clipped on their collar. It's nice and small. The audio is clear. The wire can be hidden under their shirt. You can get more than just a few feet of length, so that way you can kind of move around. And I thought it'd be a good idea to research that. But I like the idea of a very, very small mic, not in my way, where I don't have an actual microphone hanging in my shot. So I went on YouTube and I probably watched about a dozen creators do reviews on multiple lapel microphones in the same video. All the microphones were under $100, and what I wanted to wait until multiple creators reviewed the exact same microphone before I considered it. Now, the reason I chose this Boya microphone is it was $20, so that's a big part of it. It was one of the cheapest ones that there was, but it also had enough cord for me to move around the room if I wanted to. Now, right now, I don't really have a use for the lapel mic elsewhere. I'm not doing videos like outside of this room really, so 8 to 10 feet is really all I need in extra cord. Even with the gaming headset, that cord, I couldn't even move a foot further back than I am right now, so I wanted some kind of wiggle room. Some of the lapel mics had like 50 feet of cord. Now, I'm never going to use that, and if I ever need 50 feet, I think I'm just gonna get like a wireless microphone lapel mic and just have a separate battery pack. So if I really need that, I guess I'll invest in something like that, because either I'm gonna have a bird's nest of wires or I'm going to have 40 some odd feet of it all wrapped up forever, and that just seemed kind of pointless. Probably gonna be my favorite, but again, let me keep an open mind, see what this guy can do. The last microphone I'm going to go over is the $20 lapel mic made by Boya. Right now it is attached to my collar. You could send the wire through your shirt to hide the wire, and I would do that if I wasn't trying to do a quick test. This is the amount of cord that you have left, so I could unwrap that and get even more distance, but this is easily enough distance for me to move back to the full size of my room, and I can always take that apart and get even more length. This is the kind of length that I was looking for to give me a little bit more freedom. This is how small the battery pack is. It has a clip so you can put it on your belt or anything like that, and it has a switch on it that goes between DSLR camera and my actual smartphone. Now, something I noticed when I did my first test on this mic is it sounds pretty close to the gaming headset, which is not cool. I do not like that sound. I do think it is better than the gaming headset, but it still has that low quality, and I was definitely expecting better than this. I do like the freedom it has, and I like the benefit that I don't have to have an actual headset on, so it beats my headset in quality, and it beats my headset in, I guess we'll call it freedom. It also beats my headset in the length of the cord. Now, I tried playing around with it, and the strange thing is, as soon as I take this off my collar, and I don't use it for its intended purpose, now, if I go even 12 inches away, this sounds really good. I think the clarity is good. I think the volume's good. Even if I go about 18 inches away, even when I'm facing the mic directly or facing the camera, or even slightly going outside the bounds of pointing towards the mic, I think it still produces pretty clear audio. Now, once I go too far, sure, maybe they wouldn't be good, but I don't really need it this far. This is not acceptable, but if I get closer, this is pretty good. Like, I'm pretty impressed with the sound quality. I'm just really bummed that I have to hold this. The whole point of this was to put it on my collar. Even though this sounds amazing, the only thing I can think to do with this is to attach this to my Neewer microphone stand. Having the mic here, even if I lower it to this point, I feel like this is clear enough for me to be able to do a YouTube video like this. Now, I'm not going to hold it, but I'm going to have to put it on something. So for whatever reason, this lapel mic, to me, does not sound very good right here, but as soon as you bring the mic away from you, this is about 12 inches, it sounds pretty good. Now, if I go about 18 inches, it still sounds pretty good, but it picks up enough audio where I might just have to get used to using this thing on the Neewer microphone stand. However, if this truly is the best audio out of all 4 mics, I guess I'll go ahead and do that. I think this is going to be the mic that I'm going to use. I'm going to have to review the footage again, but it's definitely between the $20 Boya lapel mic and the $20 Neewer boom mic. Okay, so I finished reviewing the video I just recorded, the video you just watched, and I know what I'm gonna do. Now, it's probably obvious, but I am done using the microphone on my cell phone. I'm also done using the microphone on my gaming headset. Now, if all I had was the microphone on my cell phone and the microphone on the gaming headset, I'd probably use the gaming headset, but luckily, I have other options. Now, when it comes to the Neewer mic, the one that is gold in color, I really like the sound of it when you're about 6 inches away from it. But there is such a drastic sound difference between 6 inches and 9 inches that I'm afraid that I'm going to change the distance away from the microphone mid-video and I won't find out until I'm in the editing process. And I really don't want to have to play with raising and lowering volumes. As much as I'm glad that I have that microphone and I hope I find other situations in which I can use it, that's definitely not going to be my primary microphone. My primary is definitely going to be the Boya lapel mic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that lapel mic, I'm going to attach it to the gold Neewer mic, which is on the mic stand. I'm going to move the mic stand in frame and then I'm going to lower it out of frame, and I believe at a distance of a half a foot to a foot under this microphone, I believe I'm going to get good enough audio, the kind of audio that I'm looking for. So if you see me so close to the microphone that it kind of looks like we're dating, that's the microphone that I'm using. However, if you see me at a comfortable distance and somehow the audio quality has drastically increased, what I ended up doing was taking the lapel mic made by Boya, attached it literally to the gold Neewer mic that is attached to the mic stand, lowered it out of frame so you cannot see it, but the audio quality is still there. Man, I'm so glad I did this. This was a long time coming. This is literally a permanent upgrade to every video I'm ever going to do. Finally, I can move past this and get on to the next video. So this is almost certainly the microphone that I am going to use from here on out until I learn enough about these microphones that I upgrade to a completely different one, which is a long way off. Finally, I am past this video and on to the next video. I'm sure you're gonna see me soon, but for right now, I'm out.